I want some food. I want ribs. I say, spaghetti time. I say, how about some cheeseburgers? Some mac and cheese. I'm gonna get on down with it now.
What are you looking at me for? I don't know. Hey guys, here's another episode of Cooking Time. Yeah, he's just woke up or something. I don't really know. But today, yes, it is June 18th, and it's a little warm outside, but it's actually kind of cool for this time of the year. So we're going to make New England clam chowder soup. Yes. I don't know why he keeps looking at his shirt.
Is it wet?
What do you mean, is it wet?
It is.
Anyway, so we're going to go over to the stove and get started. It's a really quick and easy recipe, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. What we have here is some bacon. Now, normally I would do like 4 or 5 pieces. I've actually did 8 pieces because my family loves bacon. So not only am I going to put bacon in the mix, but I'm going to have some left over so we can sprinkle on top when it gets in the bowl.
I love bacon.
I'm sorry, what?
I love bacon.
I love bacon. We have like 1 large Vidalia onion, sweet onion, whatever onion you like. And right here is about 4 or 5 potatoes that I've diced. We didn't want to bore you with chopping and dicing, so what we've done is all of this for you. Boom. I don't know why he said saffron.
Aren't they saffron potatoes?
No, they're butter potatoes.
Oh yeah.
We were supposed to use russet potatoes, but we couldn't find russet potatoes. And then we also have, and I'll show you this here. We have 3 cans of whole baby clams, and then 2 cans of minced clams. And then we have, you probably didn't see that really well, that was too close. And then we have butter. Alright, so what we're going to do first is we are going to fry up the bacon until it's nice and crisp. So, I'm going to turn the heat on medium-high. And if you would do the honor, sir, and put the bacon in the pot.
Is it rolling? Is it supposed to be rolling?
It's rolling. Thanks for screwing it up.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh, you're using your hands? I'm just kidding. There's a little piece of bacon left in there, buddy. Come on, man. Bacon.
Yeah.
No, it's raw.
And?
Alright, so take this and just kind of like swish that around a little bit because you don't want it clumpy. You want all the bacon to render, as they call it.
Like a computer.
Okay. He's all fancy and stuff. What?
Smush.
Aiden still wants to play.
I'm gonna poke it.
We'll poke it, whatever. Just, get it in there and get it right.
So sweet.
Get it in there and get it right. Oh, it's starting to sizzle. It's starting to sizzle.
Got waft the sound.
Alright, so we're going to let that render out. Alright, so the bacon fat here is just about rendered nicely here. So don't worry about that brownness down there. We're going to kind of scoop that up with the onion. So you can pour the onion right in there. And then mix that around. And you want to get the onion nice and brown and just about soft. That's smelling pretty good.
Like onions and bacon.
Yeah. Kind of want to make an onion and bacon sandwich, huh?
And onions.
Onion and bacon and onions.
And bread.
And as you can see, the onions is allowing me to get all those those nice burnt bits up. Yay! And then I'll do the other side of the pan. Alright. We'll let this go for a little bit. And then we're going to add the potatoes. Now we're going to add the potatoes. And once we add the potatoes, we're going to add just enough water to cover the potatoes. I had roughly 2 cups. It stopped because we put cold water on the hotness.
Science.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this because now what we want to do, I left this little bit in here, this little tiny piece, because it's thin, because I kind of want the potatoes to naturally thicken the soup. So we're going to let this come up to a boil, and we're going to let it boil for 15-20 minutes until the potatoes are nice and tender, and then we'll finish up the soup. Type. Top. Pot top, please.
I found it.
There you go. Boop. The pot is now topped. And now we wait. I just want to remind everybody to stir their pot every couple minutes, just to make sure nothing's sticking. If you have a good pot, you shouldn't have that problem. But I like checking anyway. So it's been about 10 minutes, and we want to make sure that the potatoes are fork tender, but not too tender yet because we have a little more cooking to do. So Aiden's going to try that. Don't burn yourself. All right, so we're good. So now we're going to go on to the next step, which is adding the cream. And then, oh, nope, I take that back. I'm going to come in here and, oops, sorry, didn't mean to step on you. My toe! What I'm going to do is, I'm going to take a, can you see that? Can you see if they can see that?
Yes.
Okay, this is, can they see it like this? Okay, I'll stop.
Yes.
So this is a potato masher, obviously. What I'm going to do is I put a little extra potatoes in it. I keep saying tomatoes. Potatoes in it because I like the potatoes to kind of naturally thicken the soup as opposed to using cornstarch or flour. We might have to do that later, but I tried doing it this way first. So I'm gonna just mash up like a little side of the potatoes, and I'm gonna try to let that starch do the job of thickening later, because we're gonna add, not only are we gonna add some flavor with the clam juice, but we're also gonna add flavor with some salt, pepper, and some cream. So I'm mashing probably about, I'm just gonna say about a third of the pot, because we have a pretty big pot. Sorry, I'm making all this noise. And if Aiden will join me on this side of the camera, he can help me pour in the cans of baby clams. Now they're already open. Now I'm gonna show.
All of them are open?
Yep.
Oh.
You just gotta pull. Gotta use your strength. Gotta use your man strength.
Oops.
So I'm using the entire can juice and all, because the clam juice will obviously give us that nice clam flavor. So you go ahead and dump that in.
Clammy.
And you can hand me a jar, and I'm gonna get all of it. Now see, I generally get in trouble. Yep, the whole thing. I generally get in trouble, and Aiden will start getting in trouble too. Hey, we cook with love. You put your finger in there and you get all those clams out of there. That's right. Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah. So I generally get in trouble for cooking too much. So I just try to make my food really delicious, so I don't get into too much trouble. Look at all those clams. We got another bit of clams coming in, but I like my clam chowder clammy.
Clammy.
All right, and as you can see, it's already pretty thick because I used the potatoes to make it nice and thick. Now, sir, if you would get the half and half out of the refrigerator.
Excuse me.
Now, again, I don't remember measurements, and I will try to leave them on the end for you guys. How about you?
Fat-free.
Oh, look at you with the product placement. Wow. So I don't remember, but I'm gonna put, and if you guys don't want, all the calories, that's fine. You can put less, but this is about 3 tablespoons of butter. And Aiden is going to open up that thing of half and half. And I like to pour until the soup looks creamy enough for me. So go ahead and pour. I'm going to say use about 3/4 of that. This is a quart. It's turning that nice New England clam chowder color. Oh, looks like we're going to use the whole quart.
We are?
I don't know. Where are we at now?
Like 5 3/4.
You know what? Let's stop for a minute. Let's stop for a minute. What we'll do is a quick little taste test. That looks nice right there. Look at all those chunks. You still got a lot of chunks of potatoes.
Look at the butter.
You got the butter, which will melt. Calm down, people. Butter is love. So, I'm going to take a little spoon. Sorry, you don't get one.
Aww.
And I'm just going to taste it real quick. That's really tasty. I'm going to throw a little salt in there, even if you can get me the kosher salt.
Salt on.
I'm just going to throw a little salt and pepper in there. Let's say a teaspoon of pepper. Why you got to put the big old box in there? Like
Salt on.
big old salt lick. And then about a teaspoon of salt. I learned this from the Cajun chef. That right there is about a teaspoon. I'm not going to be bold like him and say, let's measure it. And then I'm going to get a clean spoon. Try this again. Oh yeah, that's it right there. Alright, so what I'm going to do is bring this up to a boil again. Let this boil for a little bit. Kind of check my thickness. What do you think? Oh, you haven't tasted it. Okay, so here we go. Here you go, sir.
Give me that.
Now you try it. He's a lefty, people. Don't slurp over the pot. People will think that's gross. So what do you think? Should
Thicker.
Thicker? Well, it needs to cook a little bit more. But what do you think? Should we put more half and half in, or should we leave it as it is?
More half and half.
All right, pour the rest of it in. Let's just do it.
Spoon sink.
All right, I'm going to turn that up a little more. All right, so if you're going to make a smaller pot than this, I would use 2 to 3 cups of half and half. We just used a whole quart. And I probably should put a little more sugar in there. A little more salt in there.
Dog's back. Hello, dog.
Sparky's making a, I don't know if that camera over there is wide enough to see Sparky, but he's in here making a visit. And
Come this way.
I'm also going to, you want to come this way? Come here.
There he is.
There he is. Hey, buddy. Sorry, nothing in my hands. I was faking it. Bro. Aha. I'm going to use a coarse chop on the pepper just so we can actually see some of the pepper in here. And again, I probably had about another teaspoon. And it's really not, everyone might go, oh my gosh, that's too much pepper. We at the Friesen household kind of, actually we meaning me and Aiden, like things spicy anyway. So, I'm good with it. Aiden, you good with it?
I'm good with it.
Alright, cool. So, what I'm going to do is bring this back up to a boil, let it simmer for a little bit. Check the,
Temperature.
well, not the temperature, silly. Because it's going to be boiling, so we already know that the boiling temperature is?
Temperature.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to check the thickness. I'm going to let the starch do its thing, and we shall return.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Boop.
Okay, Aiden said, I want this thicker. So, what I usually do is what?
I did.
You did. So what I usually do is I make a slurry of either cornstarch or flour. I'm going to use flour this time. I got about 2 tablespoons of flour in this jar. You can use any jar, or if you want to use a whisk to whisk it up. Excuse me, I'm just making sure that nothing's sticking in this pot while I'm talking. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. So I'm going to take this, and I'm probably going to put in about 3 or 4 tablespoons of water. And I'm just going to put it in this jar. This is easier than whisking, but if you don't have a jar, you can whisk. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. So you have a nice little slurry. I call it a slurry. I believe that's the right term, but if it's not, this is what I'm calling it.
It's milk.
It's not milk.
Why not?
Oh, well, it's flour milk. There you go.
No, it's milk.
No, it's not milk. This didn't come from a cow
This is how you make
or
your
any
own milk at
animal.
home,
No,
everybody.
no, it's. Could you imagine people are like, "Oh my gosh!" Now, see, if kids are watching this, they're going to be like, "Oh my gosh, we don't have any milk, but I can make some milk from flour," and they're going to be thoroughly grossed out.
It's delicious.
Now, you want to be careful with the slurry. Is this thing recording? Because this missed some really good stuff if it's not. You want to be careful with the slurry because obviously you don't want to make whatever you're doing too thick. So I pour a little bit in at a time and kind of let it do its thing. Now, my soup, which I will use my handy dandy, if I can get it back on. Woo, it's tough being your own camera person.
Hello, dog. Dog is back.
The dog is back, but you probably can't see him in the
Because it's hot.
view that I am in. Well, because I'm also covering him up. So I'm going to use my handy dandy overcam. Now it's already, I don't think it's too bad right now, but Aiden wants it thicker, so we're gonna do what Aiden says. So I'm gonna pour it in probably about half of this. And notice I'm stirring and pouring at the same time. And you want to make sure that your liquid is boiling, because that way the flour will activate and start thickening up sooner. So I can already feel the tug on that already, which is good. So I'm just going to go ahead and pour the rest of that in there, and then let it do its thing. We don't want pudding. This isn't New England clam pudding, but you know, I know some people like their stuff thick. Alright, so that's looking pretty good. You can even tell, if you look in the overhead cam, you can tell how the bubbling is a little more fuller. I so don't have the technical terms down. And that's boiling too much, so let's bring that down to a nice little simmer. These glass range tops are super hot, so I have it on like 1 and it'll probably still boil. Alright, so I'm going to let that simmer for a little while longer, but the soup is done, folks. I usually like doing, and you notice it got nice and thick, Aiden. Is that thick enough for you, sir?
Maybe.
Now remember, it's going to get a little thicker, but you also have all of this.
Yeah.
And not only that, you don't want it too thick, because you want to use premium soup and oyster crackers while you're eating.
Nabisco brand.
Oh, he said Nabisco. Nabisco, you got to send us some money now.
Sponsor us.
So you hold those. I'm going to make sure that that was in camera. Matter of fact, I'm going to zoom in so you can say Nabisco. Nabisco, that's the stuff to use.
That's the stuff to use. Nabisco.
Wow, we do really good commercials, don't we, folks?
Give us money.
Give us money. All right, so so there you go. So soup's done, and that's about it. I'm gonna let it simmer for a few more minutes, and when we are ready for dinner, we cook this ahead of time. When we're ready for dinner, we'll check it out and we'll let you know how it is. You gonna be able to look at the camera at the same time? Here. Oh boy. There you go. You're welcome. All right. Oh no. All right, so here's the moment of truth. We got some New England clam chowder here. Threw a little extra bacon on top. Why are you blowing? Oh wait, hold on. Can't forget the oyster crackers. You want more?
No, thank you. I mean, yes, please.
All right, so if you look at this beauty here, go into my other cam here. We have a beautiful bowl of soup. Sorry, you're getting that camera glare, so it's not really a beautiful angle. Oh well, it's ruined. But anyway, here, let's give it a shot. Why did I get the baby spoon? This isn't a soup spoon. What the heck? Look at this. Look at this spoon.
Because that way you can savor your food.
Whatever. That's pretty good. It's, clammy, potatoey, chowdery. Good job, sir. What do you think? All right, well, that concludes this episode of Cooking Time. And maybe, just maybe, we'll do something a little more summer-like next time. I bought a grill.
Maybe.
All right, enjoy. Don't judge me. I like a lot of oyster crackers in my soup.
I want some food. I want ribs. I say, spaghetti time. I say, how about some cheeseburgers? Some mac and cheese. Gonna get on down with it now.